Okay. Let me start the today's topic, guys. Okay. This is flows. Okay. Basically, in Salesforce, what we have seen, guys, we have seen how to create an object, how to create fields, and then how to create a records we have seen, and then how to provide security to those records, like sharing settings, and how to provide security to fields and objects. We can provide using profiles and permission sets, right? After that, we have seen um, like in case if we want to create multiple records like bulk data load, how can we do it? How to do the export operations related to data. And apart from that, we learned about the validation rules. Like while we are inserting the data, how to make sure that the data we are capturing is the proper data which is related to that particular field. Okay. So these are the major concepts that we have learned till today. Now, flows. Flows is something like that. It's automations. All these things, guys, you are inserting the data. Okay. You are clicking on the new button and then you are entering the data into the Salesforce, right? You are clicking on the, let me log into my Arc. Basically, we learned how to create an application and how to add different objects to that application and how to create tabs, then profiles and permission sets, then how to control the records level sharing. Okay, then how to create the validation rules. So while we are doing all these things, guys, whenever we want to create the records, obviously what we are doing it, we are clicking on the new button. For example, in case if we want to create the new account, we are going to clicking on the new button and we are providing the information manually. Okay. Instead of that, as soon as I click on this new contact, automatically some contact, some, it's something like that. The scenarios are something like that, guys. Whenever you create an account, okay, whenever you create an account, automatically you would like to create some opportunities. Okay, that is one of the scenario. The same way, whenever you create an account, you would like to create some default contact with some email, some customer support email. You want to associate one default contact to that particular account. Such scenario, as soon as, so that is the common action that you have to do all your accounts in your organization. As soon as you created the account, and every time you have to create one contact with with like you have to create or you have to associate the existing contact which the contact which contains the email as support at the rate so and so company.com. Okay. That is the same action you need to do for all the accounts. So this is always a manual work, right? It's a common action, but you are doing it manually every time. So This is something, one of the automated feature. Okay, this is common. Nothing is going to change. Always, whenever an account gets created, you need to associate a contact. If contact is not present, you have to create the contact and then you have to associate it to account. These kind of things we call it as a automated, guys. Okay. This is one of the use case that we use flows. Basically, in Salesforce, flows we use for the automation of the things. Basically, we use flows to automate the things which we do manually repeatedly. Okay. Basically, there is some actions that we have to do repeatedly. Okay. With the manual interaction, those are the stuff we always want to automate it, guys. And to automate that thing, we use flows. Okay. All manual things. For example, every time, I mean, there are some scenarios. Some example scenarios are, okay, there are many automations. The first scenario, as we discussed, when we create an account, always, I mean, a customer support contact should associated to this account. Contact. Okay. This is one of the automation scenario. Okay. Uh, Another automation scenario is whenever we submit opportunity for an approval, okay, if amount is less than 2000, okay, not amount is less than 2000. If amount is, sorry, whenever we create an opportunity, if amount is greater than 5000, then record should get submitted to, record should go, record should get submit for approval. Okay. Basically, guys, whenever we want to submit any records for the approvals, okay, in our arc, actually, if I open up any opportunity record, you will be seeing an button, okay, submit for approval button. Basically, what it will do is when you click on this, if I click on this button, submit for approval button, need approval, click on submit. Okay. So it is saying no applicable approval process was found. Okay. So in Salesforce, we have a concept of approval processes, guys. Okay. If I go to click on setup, and from that we can search for approval processes. Okay. So we are going to discuss about the approval processes and flows. Okay. So approval processes is something like that whenever we want to submit a record for approval. Okay. So basically, whenever we want to submit any record for approval, and most probably we use this approval process for the cases and opportunities. These are the two most common objects. Okay, but you can implement this approval process for any of the object, guys. Not only for the cases and the objects. Here it displays all the objects which are present in your arc. Okay, including both custom and standard objects. Policy and policy plans are the custom objects that we have created, right? We can write the approval process on the any object. So whenever submit for approval button, that is the uh, default quick action which is available for all the buttons and actions on all the objects. Okay, whenever we click on that button, okay, for example, it first search here. Is there any approval processes are set up for that particular object? If there are approval processes set up, then it will just follow that approval process. If there is no approval process set up, it displays the message saying that there is no approval process configured. That is the message that we got when I click on submit for opportunity. Okay, so let me go to the opportunity object and we will see. Okay, this is my opportunity object. If you see it, I don't have any approval processes. That's the reason when I try to submit, click on the submit for approval and provide the comment. 1 second, guys. Um, Sorry guys, I'm back. So here you can click on new approval process and there are two things. Use jump start wizard and use standard setup wizard. Okay. Approval process we can set up in two ways. Use jump start wizard and use standard setup wizards. Okay. Approval process we can set up in two wizards using two wizards. Okay. Jump start wizard, standard process wizard. Okay. It's just, it's a combination of steps, guys. That's the reason they are just calling it as a wizard. Wizard is nothing but a combination of multiple steps. Okay. So now we will see what is the main difference between the if we use the jump start wizard or standard setup wizard. Okay. So if I go to the jump start wizard, okay, here we are just giving the name. I'm just giving like opportunity approval process. Okay. Then rest of the fields are approval assignment email template. This is something like that. Uh, if we create the email templates are nothing but just kind of email bodies that we are going to store as a template. Okay, here we can select so that whenever this record is approved, I mean, this record is whenever you submit it for the record to particular approver, they will get the notification saying with this email template. Okay, and the next thing is something like that. Specify the entry criteria. Use this approval process. For example, if certain conditions satisfies, then only apply this approval process. Okay. If you want to give any filter criteria, we can filter it. Or else, if you want to apply this approval process, call this approval process for each and every record, then you can just simply no, don't give any criterias. Okay. For example, in my case, I told you, right? I'm trying to check amount is greater than 500. Okay. Opportunity amount. Okay. Greater than 5,000. That the case, I would like to submit for approval. Okay. The next step is we are going to select the approver. So, as part of the Jumpstart widget, what we are doing is we are just doing like what is the name, what is the entry criteria, then we are selecting the approvers. Okay, let the submitter choose the approver manually. Okay, in this case, you can just on click of submit for approval, you can select your approver to whom you would like to submit for the approval. Otherwise, there are certain scenarios like if the opportunity is greater than 5,000, I always would like to submit to one of my manager who is part of hierarchy field. Okay, like standard user fields, manager field, or else you can create a custom field on your record, like approver, who is the respective approver of the records. Okay, are automatically assigned to approvers. Here you can mention some particular person name. Okay, so we have three users, right? I would like to, when as soon as opportunity amount is greater than 5,000, then I would like to make the approver as standard user. So this is submitting for the approver. So standard user can log in and they can submit it. Okay. So finally approve or reject based on the first response. Okay, that means if standard user one he approves the request, then obviously the request will get approved. If he rejects it, okay, it will get rejected. So opportunity is greater than 5,000 and basically opportunity is greater than 5,000. He can just look into that opportunity. If it's fine, then he is going to approve it. Okay. The same scenario we use for the discounts and product prices also, guys. Okay. If customer is asking for 20% discount, okay, then we submit for the approval to respective persons we will submit. Depending on the configurations that we select here, the approval process exactly behaves the same way, guys. Either at the time of submitting the if your option is first one, at the time of submitting, it will ask you the approver. Okay. At the time of second one, that is the one automatically your manager. On your user record, there is a field called manager field, guys. Okay. If you would have seen your user record, there is a field called manager field. Okay. Right now, we haven't populated anything in that this particular field. Okay. Whomever you select in this field, manager field, okay, automatically he will get notification. Okay. This is the where again you can select who is your manager. Okay. So whenever you submit for approval, automatically, if you select this one, your manager should approve the things. Okay. And the third thing is we are going to select some user always. Whenever you submit the record, if the opportunity is greater than 5,000, this person have to approve it. Standard user one have to approve it. Okay. This is the three ways that we can, these are the three ways. Okay. And then you will be seeing some other options, right? When multiple approvers are selected. Okay. This is not the one user that you can select. You can select multiple users from here. Okay. I've just selected. So this is the case whenever you want to assign approvers can be, for example, you want to submit it to the finance group, okay, or you want to submit this record. It's something like that. You have two users to approve. You can decide whether the if any one of the user approves is fine, or you have to get the approval from all the users that are mentioned here. Okay. If any one of the user approval is fine, then we are going to select the first option. Approve or reject on the first response. Okay. Require unanimous approval from all selected approvals. Okay. In your case, if all the persons have to approve, not the one. If all the persons have to approve, then we will select the second option. Okay. Now let me just select the second option. Okay. In my case, if the opportunity is greater than 5,000, standard user one and integration user both should get approved, guys. Okay. Click on save. So they are just saying you cannot use this approval process until you activate it. Okay. So this is again, they are just telling us we just created the approval process and we can configure the additional steps like if you want to um, like when we are creating the approval process, right? What should happen when we submitted for the approval? Any actions that you would like to follow? And if the approver approves, if you want to perform any action, if he rejects, if you want to perform any actions, okay? These are the different steps that we can configure through the approval process. That is what they're just uh, giving you the instruction here. Okay. So this is something like that here. If you would have seen, you can have a field like approval status. Okay. That is the field you can have on your opportunity and you can make it as a approved or rejected or it's a pending for approval like that. Okay. They are just giving you the instructions. That's it. This is the way our approval process is here. We haven't activated it, okay, but we can see this is the approval process on the opportunity and entry criteria is greater than 5,000, okay, and record editability administrators only. That means um, when any record is under approval process, okay, that means if somebody is selected, if somebody is submitted for the approval, the records will get locked automatically, guys. Those records won't be editable by anyone else apart from the system administrators. For rest of the users, those records will get logged out. That means nobody can change until this approval process is completed. Okay, so this is the one. So by default, there is a initial submitted action. So that means as soon as you submit the record, we are going to lock it. Okay. And after that, if you want to add any new actions like email alerts, if you want to send any email notification as soon as you submit it for the approval, if you want to notify some persons, then we can configure the email alert. Okay. Or else field updates. Field update is something like that. For example, on the opportunity. Okay. So if I would like to update edit object, let me check is there any field that has the status. Okay, there's no field which talks about the approval status, right? So I'm going to create a new field. Okay, piece of text. Click on next. You can make it as a text or pick list, guys. Okay, anything is fine. Mm, Otherwise, just make it as a pick list because most of the project approval status field is the pick list always. Okay, field label is approval status. Whenever we have the approval process, basically on it, we create this field, guys, approval status, so that we can easily filter out on these fields what are the records that are presently waiting for the approval, or approval is done or not. Okay, so here we can have different values: approval pending, approved, rejected, recalled. Okay, approval pending, approved, rejected, and recalled. So these are the different values that I am looking for the approval status field. Just clicking on next, and then profile level security, adding them to page layouts and clicking on save. Okay. So now I'm just refreshing my approval process. Okay. As soon as any record that satisfies this criteria and submitted for the approval, I would like to automatically do the approval status to pending, guys. Okay. This is one of the automation. So for that, we have to use the action of field updates. Okay. Field update is nothing but we are updating a particular field which is present on the opportunity. Okay. Update approval status. Okay. So field to update is approval status field. You can update other fields also, guys. Okay, if you want to update stage field or if you want to update type field, depending on requirements. Basically, this is one of the common requirement that you will be having in your projects. When you click on the approval, submit for approval, the approval status field should have the respective values. Okay, whenever the record is submitted for the approval, we are just moving that to approval pending. Okay, so this is one of the action we can set it up. And then we can set up, I mean, you can create some tasks also. This is nothing but you are just creating some task and assigning to some particular user. Okay, It's depending on, guys. You are just assigned to. This assigned to is nothing but the just look up to users. Here you can create some task to mm, um, um, make a call to customer. Okay, you can give the status whether it is started or not started. So we are just creating a task and assigning to some particular person. Make a call to customer and inform him it is in approval process. We are waiting for approval. Make a call to customer. Let me increase the. Okay. A task in Salesforce is nothing but simply we are just creating a task for the sales people, guys, so that we can track that thing whether they have done this or not. So whenever it is in the opportunity submitted time, then you have to inform to customer by the time of opportunity close date. Okay. Otherwise, rule trigger date, that means whatever is triggered this one, plus within 1 day, make a call to customer and inform him that we are waiting for approval. Make a call to customer and inform that this request is waiting for approval. Okay. This is how we can create a task. Okay. Either you can create the field update, either you can create the task, or you can create email alert. Email alert is nothing but the sending email notification. Okay. Uh, Inform to sales group. Okay. I'm just giving you some example names, guys. I don't created any template, right? Basically, but you can create a template. Okay. It's just nothing but whatever the body that you would like to write. Okay. Just I selected some sample response and then recipients. So you are going to select users to receive the notification. In my case, I don't have too much of users, guys. So I was just selecting the same users again and again. If you want to give any additional addresses, you can give it here. Okay. So this is something. Email alerts is nothing but the sending email notifications. Okay. Field updates, updating a field which are present on this particular object, and tasks. We can create some tasks. Okay. Like this, we can configure different actions. So we can configure other things also. Outbound messages. That means from this Salesforce arc, if you want to send any message to another Salesforce arc, like outside of the Salesforce, we use outbound messages. But very less chance, guys, very minor chances that we are going to use this. Okay. And then we can call a flow. Flow is something like that. Using that, we can perform certain automated operations like creation of the records, creation, I mean, we can update records, we can delete records. Okay. And already there is a set of actions that we can configure inside the flows, and that flows we can invoke. Okay. From the approval processes. So that these are the steps that I would like to perform as part of my initial actions. Then approval steps. Okay. So what you want to do in case this person approves. Okay. Unanimous approval is required as part of these steps. Okay. If you want to do any actions. Okay, you can configure here again the same actions, guys. If you want to send any email alert as soon as these persons approves, you can keep the email alert. Okay, Same way rejection actions. Okay. The next thing is final approval actions and final rejection actions. So final approval actions already we can see record lock the record from being edited. That means if the record is approved, we are going to lock it for everyone. So nobody is going to edit it. Okay, final rejection. Unlock the record. Okay, and recall of actions also unlock the record. If you want to add any new things here, so field updates, update approval status to approved. Okay. So as part of the final approved, if everybody is approved here, I would like to update my field to approved. Okay. And the same way, I can do the field updates on rejection also, guys. Okay. And the same way we can use it for the recall also. Like that, for each and every action, when you initially submit for approval, if you want to set up some actions, we can set up. And what type of actions we can set up? We can set up field updates, we can set up email alerts, we can create some tasks, we can send some outbound messages, or we can call you flow also. Okay. The same kind of actions that you can do when you are in approval process. Right now this is the only step one, guys. If you want to add in multiple approval steps that you would like to do it, you can do it. Okay, this is the first step. You would like to get the approval from this one. As soon as these persons approved, if you want to submit for the second level of approval, then you can again create new approval step. Then that will be the second level of approvals, third level of approvals. Okay, that's you can configure in the approval steps. And on each level of approvals, if you want to send notifications or anything, you can use approval actions or rejection actions. Okay. Apart from that, we have final approval actions. That means all the approval steps execution is completed. Finally, if it is approved, then these actions will get executed. Or if it's rejected, then this action will get executed. If it's recalled, then these actions will get executed. Okay. Basically, we are setting up the approval process. Depending on certain criteria, we are submitting the record and we are just configuring some actions. What should happen when the record in that approval process? Okay. Right now, basically what I'm doing is I'm updating the fields respectively. Okay. Approval status field respectively. I have activated this process. I'm going to my record. Okay. If I go to the details, let me search for approval process. So approval status is blank here. Okay. So now I'm clicking this as submit for approval. So let me check the amount also here. What is the amount here? Yeah, it is greater than 5,000. Okay. So submit for approval needs approval because amount is greater than 5,000. Okay. opportunity was submitted for the approval process. So there is a approval history, guys. Okay. Approval history will show you what all things that needed. Okay. So if you see it here, approval request submitted. This is submitted by me. Okay. And the comment which I have given is needs approval because amount is greater than 50,000. Okay. We have two users, guys, right? We have integration user and we have standard user. Okay. The status is submitted and the rest of the two steps status is pending. These two should pending. Okay. Generally, what we have to do is we have to log in as integration user. Before login as integration user, let me just show you the approval status also once because we have submitted, right? So all the initial actions um, will get executed. Okay, clicking on cancel. Okay, this is some analytics user, guys. So we can't log in as that particular user. Let me just go ahead and log in as standard one user. So before going through the uh, working example, guys, any questions on approval process or its steps? Okay. Initial submission access actions or steps. Okay. Then let me just go through the standard user. So I'm going to log in as this user. Going to the opportunities. This is the one. Okay. So if I go to the details, for example, let me just try to change the private value and click on save. You will be getting a notification saying that this record is logged. If you need to edit it, contact your admin. Because this record is in approval process. We are waiting for approval from particular person. Okay. So nobody apart from the system admin profile, no others can edit the information. Okay. So that is one thing. So that is our first action that we have configured. Log the record being edited. Okay. So this is done. Then the second is update the approval status. And as part of this, we made it as a pending approval. So let me check what is the approval status. See, approval pending. Okay, so this is the second action that we have configured here. So as soon as we submitted the record, all these actions get invoked. Okay. And if I would have seen my Gmail, I might have received an email notification also. Okay. So this is the email notification, guys. Okay. This is not relevant to because I just used one of the existing email template. That's the reason it was just giving me that text only. But you can generate your own and you can provide your whatever the text. And also, whenever it is submitted for the approval, so it was just given me the information saying that there is a approval request submitted for it. Okay. So that is our third email alert. So email alert is nothing but a respect to people, okay, will get the notifications. Okay. And the last one is the task. So make a call to customer. So if you come to your opportunity record, uh, this is approval history, but there will be activities history, guys. Okay. If you go to the activities, see, you can see an activity is logged up here. Make a call to customer. Okay. This is the activity and which is assigned to this particular user. So this particular user has to complete this activity. Okay. So all the actions that you configured here is something like that. Every time when you submit for approval, these are the actions that need to perform. Flows is also exactly same thing, guys. Whenever you perform certain actions, okay, certain like on click of the button or when you are creating the record, this is something when you are submitting the record, you are configuring some actions to execute automatically, right? Flows is also same thing. Okay. Whenever you want to execute some actions automatically, so we use approval processes and flows, and approval processes are only for the submit for approval. That is the point of time the approval process will fire. None of the other times. For all other scenarios, we use flows for the automation purposes. Okay. So like this. Now I went to here. I'm the standard user one, right? I'm the one of the user. So if I go here, no actions are available. Actual approval standard user one. So I'll be having approve or reject. Okay. Because I am the approver. So I have the buttons of approve and reject. So I can approve it or I can reject it or I can reassign this to somebody else to approve on behalf of me. Okay. If we see the other step, this is the one. See, here I don't see any buttons because that is not my one. Okay. That approver is integration user. So when integration user logs in, he can approve it, he can reject it, or he can do anything. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just open up my step and I'm going to approve. Approve it. So we can give comments. Okay. I just given comments. This is done. So I'm done with my work. So I'm logged out because I can't do anything else here. The same way you can assume integration user also logs in and he will approve it. So right now integration user is some analytics user. That's the reason we are not getting login option for him. Okay. But that's fine. As a system administrator, guys, you can approve on behalf of anyone. Okay. So we'll just see what happens in case of single approval. Okay. There are two persons. Out of it, one person is approved our record. Okay. In the approval history, if you would have seen, standard user one is approved. This is pending for this user. And if you go to the details, and if you see the approval process, still it is saying pending because in the approval process, we have configured that both the users should get approved. Then only it will go to the final approval completed. Okay. So integration user, I'm clicking on it. Okay. I am getting approve and reject options, guys, because I am the system administrator. Otherwise, I will also not get these options. So system admins can approve on behalf of anyone, guys. Salesforce system admins always have all powers to do anything. That's the reason you don't get system admin access to your productions basically until and unless you have 5 to 6 years of experience, you will not get admin access to production. Okay. But now I have just approved it. So if I see my approval history, now I can see two users have to approve and both are approved. Okay, here it says, guys, actually it should get approved by integration user, but actual approver is BNB IT services user. Like that, each and every action will get tracked here. So now let me check what is the status of approval. See, automatically this gets updated to approved. Okay. In case if they reject, the status will get updated to, I'm sorry, it get updated to rejected. So how this status is getting updated, updating automatically is nothing but the different actions that we have configured under the approval process. Okay. So there will be questions here, guys. What is approval process and what using approval process, what type of actions that you can perform? Okay, that is the question. So we can say basically whenever we want to submit a record for approvals, there are multiple scenarios in case of discounts, in case of opportunity amount, we can use the approval processes. Okay. And basically approval using approval process, we can perform multiple actions like we can create tasks, we can do some field updates, we can send email messages, we can send some outbound messages, and they'll ask you the question, have you worked on the outbound messages? And no, even I don't worked on that outbound messages, guys. I did not get an opportunity to do, not opportunity, none of the I can't say none of the projects, but 99% of the projects we will not use outbound messages. There might be a minor scope of projects, they might use outbound messages, but 99% of the projects we don't use outbound messages. Okay. And the next thing is flows. We can call a flow. Flow is also same. We can set up these kind of automated actions. Okay. That's it for today, guys. So approval process. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's already 11:03. Fine. So jumpstart wizard. Just now we have seen the jumpstart wizard, right? Jumpstart wizard and is something like that. You were able to complete the setup without configuring any approval steps, right? That is the jumpstart wizard guide. If you try to create another approval process, Okay, using setup wizard. So this setup is going to complete opportunity up. Okay. It's exactly same guys, but you have to set up your actions and everything. Without configuring actions, it will not let you complete the approval process. It will not let you allow the activate the approval process. That's the only difference between the jumpstart wizard and setup wizard. In jumpstart wizard, without any actions, you can enable your approval process. Okay. So click on next. I'm not giving any criteria, guys. Here it's the same thing. Administrators only can, or administrator currently who are the record editable properties. In Jumpstart wizard, by default, it's just administrators only can edit it. And there is no configuration for that. Okay. But here you can configure apart from the administrators if you want to give permissions to like currently assigned for the approver. Like along with the administrator, the person who needs to approve the record can also edit the records. That configuration we can do it here. Okay. And then next, so what template that you would like to send, saying that something is requested for your approval. Okay, what are the different fields that you would like to see on the page layouts? Okay, opportunity owner. The next thing is you have just created the approval process. You cannot activate this process until you define at least one approver step. Okay, yes, I would like to create the approval step now. Click on go. Um, so name approval step 1. But basically, we don't use this one, guys. We always use the Jumpstart widget. Because of that, we can do all the things in a single place. Here also, we are doing the same things, but with multiple steps. That's it. All records should enter this step, or we can specify the criterias. Okay. If any criteria satisfies, then only this step is needed. So here I'm going to give the criteria. I'm clicking on next. Let the submitter choose the approvers manually or automatically assigned to approvers. So this time I'm just giving, let's choose the approvers manually. Okay. Next, actions, guys. Whatever the actions that we have configured, okay. We can create some actions. So I would like to create new approval action for this step. Field updates. So update status. So whatever the things that we have configured, basically initially as part of the Jumpstart wizard, we have configured this thing and automatically it displays this page, and from this page we have configured the rest of the things, guys. But standard setup process is something like that. We have to configure all these things. Okay, as part of this approval steps, this time I have configured the approval action. So both will do the exactly same things, but it is a step by step. It's something like that. The major difference is record editability, guys. When you use the Jumpstart wizard, the record editability is something like that administrators only. But using setup wizard, you can configure it. But using jumpstart wizard also you can configure that after you click on edit. Okay. So here this is the one, right? When you click on edit, okay, this is the one you can configure it. Okay. At the time of initially, it might not be possible, but after you can edit and you can configure it. That's the reason while we are creating the approval process, we will use the jumpstart wizard mostly, and after that, we will configure the things. Okay. They will ask you why we need two things. It's something like that. If you want to do all the things at the if you have everything ready in the initial step itself, and if you want to configure the things, we will use the setup wizard. But otherwise, jumpstart wizard. The major difference you can just tell the record editability. Okay. In the jumpstart wizard, if you want to edit the record editability, by default at the time of creating, it's not possible. Okay. After that, we can change each and everything. Okay. Who is initial submitters, who is the record editability and all. But using the standard setup, these configurations all we will just do at the initial step itself. Okay. That is the major difference between the jump start wizard and standard setup process. But that question nobody will ask you. Basically, I'm just giving you the information because we should know, right? Whenever we have two things, we should know why we have two things and what is the difference between it. Okay. But basically, the question will be on the actions. What is the approval process? How can we lock the records? Okay. We lock the records using these initial submission actions and final approval actions, final rejection actions. We can log the records. Okay. And what are the different actions that we can perform? That's it for today, guys. That's it about the approval processes and the same terminology that we will see in the flows also, but it's a little bit of different. The only difference is approval process will invoke only in case if we click on submit for approval button. That's it. No other cases we can call these approval processes. Okay. But flows are something like that. There are multiple ways you can invoke these type of automated actions that we will see in the flows. Any questions, guys? Let me stop recording.